Hello everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to another Smite commentary. And for that, today we are going to take a look at the latest addition to Smite, Susano'o'o'o'o. I have no idea how many O's that are, but I think there were more than just one. So, what is Susanoo? He is a very mobile assassin. He has 2 dashes, as well as a pull, an interesting one, as well as an ultimate with a knock-up. He has an entire different kit, to be honest. A lot of new forms of abilities, and he is a pretty interesting one. I've played him twice now, and I think he's pretty balanced, to be honest. When people get more used to him, I definitely think that there's a lot more to it in the end to counter him. He doesn't perform well against cripples because he relies on his movement abilities a lot, and when you're crippled, well, you can't move, which makes sense. His first ability is a 3-part ability. First part is just an kind of nemesis cone shaped, a little bit smaller damage ability, deals damage. The second part is that you will do an AoE around yourself, and the third part is a dash that doesn't deal any damage. So he has a multiple part one, which deals pretty decent damage, and as you can see I used it here in combination with my 3. My 3 is a bolt you fire off. If you hit someone you can teleport to them for, I think it was 3 seconds or so. If you miss, you can still teleport to it, because it will persist for the duration on the ground, and as you can see, decent amount of damage, and I can just safely get out with the third part of my first ability. His second ability is an interesting one. You saw me use it there. It is actually the same cone, I think, of the Nemesis, and as you can see, ooh, that's a lot of damage. But it's the same cone of the Nemesis. You also have in the middle a part where you have an additional effect. For Nemesis it was the slow. For Susanoo it is the pull. It will pull the targets that are inside that area towards you. It is not the largest pull. It also has a small delay on it, so it can be difficult to confirm. Not too much, to be honest, but you do need to take into consideration that it has a delay. If you don't, you probably miss it if you want to take someone from the maximum range. As you can see, I used it. Actually, that was the 1. Sorry about that. But that's also kind of a cone-shaped damage deal. AoE around, and I can just dash out safely afterwards. So it is a pretty decent one. The 3 has more range to it, but still pretty nice. So really trying to figure out how to use him properly. He has a lot of interesting things to him, and not something I'm really used to be fair. Ooh, that's unfortunate. But I can use my ultimate, and that's an interesting one. You will fire off your ultimate, it will grow wider, and if someone is inside it, it will kind of be pulled towards it like a whirlpool, I think. And afterwards you can aim where you want to fire, the direction you want to fire it. And as you can see, I just follow him because I hit the enemy Susanoo with my 3. I can teleport to him after he uses his dash, chasing up to him. And as you can see, I can just cover him distance, actually not take into consideration the delay on the 2. This was my first game with Susanoo, so he is, well, we'll just have to see what we can do with him. His passive is interesting as well. If you use a lot of abilities, you will have more movement speed, because for every ability that's on cooldown, I think you get like 4% movement speed, which is a lot when you have no abilities up. So for instance, you go in, you deal your damage, and you get out with the additional movement speed. It's just insane. And I use my 1 for an escape here. It's pretty difficult to use it as an escape because there is the 1-up on your damage parts. It's not a quick escape. Your 3 is much better for it. And I am able to pick up Ymir, so that worked out great. I used my 3 to teleport to him as well. Wasn't really necessary, but it kind of brings me a bit closer to him, allowing me to confirm that auto attack a bit better. So the interesting part about him is the ability cancelling, something that you do when you use an ability and in between 2 abilities you put an auto. Because when you use your 3 to teleport, you'll actually go, you're facing the direction you fired. So I fire, for instance, if I fire it at the enemy at this point, and I would turn around and then teleport, my frame will actually make a 160 degree turn. 180 degree turn. So that's an interesting one. So I have no idea how to build this guard, to be fair, but I went for the Jotuns. You usually can't really go wrong with the Jotuns on an assassin, except for instance when you're playing a Kali. I don't recommend Jotuns on Kali, even though you can use your ultimate a lot more. If you don't get kills with you while you're in your ultimate, it's no use at all. So that's the reason why you shouldn't pick it on Kali. But since he also relies on his abilities a lot more, every single of his abilities deal damage and have some decent effects to it, it is a lot better. And as you can see, almost 450 damage total on the Habois. Squishy mage, of course, I can do a lot more damage to him. But still, it is quite safe. It has a decent range on it as well. As you can see, I teleport, use my ultimate, knock him up, use my one. Actually get stunned. I need to use my purification to get the other parts of my one out of it. Like I said, the CCs and the cripples are very good against him. I got stunned by the Emir. If I didn't beat in time, I probably would not have been able to dash away, because you have only 3 seconds of time to use a second part or the third part of your one. So when you start it for the first time, you'll have 3 seconds to do the AoE part. Then you will have 3 seconds again for your dash part. So that can be used to kind of bait something. Just wait for it, you know, and then use it. But you can also use it pretty quickly. And something that's really interesting to me, or awkward to me, is more that you have that dash that doesn't deal damage. You kind of want to cancel that sometimes if you're already close to your target, because otherwise you will just dash away from them. And by cancelling it, you can just continue doing your basics. Decent damage, able to dash away instantly. The bucket jump not fast enough. Ooh, you mean just barely in range. I thought he might have been out of range for that one. Let's see, can we do something? I kind of wanted to go for a bois, but it looks like I have enough damage, and the Zeus detonate secures their enemy Susanoo as well. As you can see, the pull kind of pulls him out of position, but it is still a mirror, so... But he is pretty good at kind of getting into the fight, getting out of the fight continuously. As you saw there, I backed off a bit for my cooldowns to come back up. I went in with my 3, used my 1 combination and used the dash part on it to get away again. I went for Shifters next. I wasn't sure what to get. Shifters isn't too expensive anymore. It is only 2400 at this point. It provides me some protections, which I definitely need against the heavy damage lineup. Even the 2 Guardians they have can do an insane amount of damage. So the additional protections on the Shifter shield, while still providing me a lot of power when I'm full HP, I think it is at this point is a good option. So that's why I went for it. We'll go for Titan's Bane next, and that has to do with the fact, of course, that... Let's see, can we do something? You see it being very slow, not able to go out of my ultimate, and I can just fire it, getting the knock up, getting the damage, and able to pick up the bois. He is very, very good at really closing the distance to someone. And as you can see, I use my 2 to kind of pull the Guardians away from Chin Chan. That's also something you can do. You can pull someone away from your teammates. It is not the largest distance, of course, but still pretty decent. Also, I think if you use your 1, the cone-shaped ability has a little less range to it, and the AoE has a little more range to it. So it might be easier to hit the AoE part of your 1. But I'm not entirely sure if that's true, to be honest. I haven't really paid too close attention. Like I said, this is the first game, so I have no idea. But so far, so good. Nice! Able to steal that buff. Might be able to go for this Emir. Decent damage. Pull him back. Can teleport to him. Basic is enough to finish him off. And I can use my dash to get away. I should be fine. And with my additional escapes, I'm able to get away. Actually, my team is able to pick up Susanoo as well. Nice. This is probably also a good time to pick up the new, well, not new, the changed. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That Habois is really, really squishy at this point. Not an awful lot he can do. And as you saw that, I waited for the Neve to completes a backflip. At that point I teleported by using the 3 I hit already on her. Was able to teleport to her, finish her off. As you can see, decent amount of damage. Use my sprint. Can I get her? Yes, I can. Can I get out as well? I teleport. Habois still chasing. No, the Neath arrow stuns me in place, providing enough time for the Habois to pick me up for my first death. That's a bit unfortunate. That is rough. But, like I said, the Bloodforge, it is more of a luxury item. It provides 75 power. It is quite expensive on 2850, I think. So it is something you will only pick up when you're ahead by a lot, which I am at this point because I'm 8-1 in 10, which is insane. It also provides a bit of lifesteal. The lifesteal will not be too important. I will deal some basic damage, but not too much. But what I'm most interested to see what will happen with the passive on it. When I get a kill, I will actually get a shield that will increase my, I think my movement speed and as well. So that will be very useful. A 200 damage shield, definitely something that can be very powerful. And as you can see, Habois very much out of position. Actually, Qinshan picks up that kill. Doesn't matter too much. We are able to pick him up. I'm so far ahead at this point that I don't really need the kills that much. But the ultimate is definitely a lot of fun on this one. Actually, I like his kit and in his entirety. There's a lot to it. Can I hit this through the wall actually? Yes, I can. If I hit the pull part, if he wouldn't have died, then of course he would not have been pulled through the wall. That doesn't make any sense if that actually works. I haven't tested it to be honest, but I think it doesn't. It wouldn't make any sense to be fair. It's like more of a Hercules pull, and Hercules pull also can't really go for it. And as you can see, a lot of damage on the ultimate. It is almost impossible to miss because you can actually aim after it, and the more time you take, the larger your ultimate gets to be. And when it's at maximum diameter, it will actually fire on its own. I think it's like 3 seconds. I'm not entirely sure, but it will be easier to hit at that point as well. So I can finish my Bloodforge. He is a very fun god. I like Skid a lot. It feels a bit awkward at first, to be fair, because with your three parts on your 1, with the dash is a bit awkward at sometimes. And the fact that your camera angle will be stuck to how you fired it with your 3 can make things a bit awkward as well. But you can see a lot of damage with the Titan's Bane. Even on the tankier Guardians, I can still deal decent amount of damage. I can't really burst someone down without a lot of basics, so I'll have to see what we can do. Actually a bit too early on my 2, can't pull him, but I can pick up this blue buff. Teleporting towards your target doesn't really do a lot. I think when you teleport to a guard, I know it reduces the cooldown on your escape by 3 seconds, so that can be used to reduce it, making sure you can almost instantly escape again. And at this point I think we might be able to, yes, we can pick up the Habois. The Guardians are very low as well, only have my ultimate, so I do need to be careful when to fight, but actually they surrender. Kind of makes sense, we're 31 to 13. I'm 11 in 1, so actually one of the best first games I had with a new god, but definitely a good god. I'm not sure if he is considerable OP. I do think his pull is almost impossible not to confirm, as well as the fact that you have a lot of mobility, and as you can see, an insane amount of damage. I got fed so early on that I was able to do almost 27k damage. The build altogether was just straight up damage. Shifters to it was kind of a hybrid item to provide somewhat protections. I think it worked out pretty well. The last item would have been the stone cutting sword. Also a luxury item, to be fair, but it provides a lot of power. Also could have gone for the Masamune or the Masamune, which also provides 50 power and 10% movement speed, but a different passive. Both are pretty decent. One of them, of course, a lot cheaper than the other. The other a bit better when it comes down to really beating someone up with your basics. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this first look at Susanoo. And as always, good luck, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.